Parshas Mishpatim Tov Shiyim Pei Hey. B'siyata d'shmaya. First, I want to announce a Shevach Voidoye to Hashem Yisborach. Praise Hashem for all of the chasodim that He does with us. And especially, you have to thank for every specific good thing that you get from Hashem. We were zoiche to engage our daughter last night to a bocher, a very, very special bocher. His name is Refuel Srulovich. That's his name. Hashem should help. The Chosn and Kala should be able, but Siyata Deshmai should be zoiche to build a bayis Namo B'Yisrael with all good blessings. Bone, Chayim, Ezoyin, and Atzloch, and Siyata Deshmai, and Ashruas Ashchina. And by all of you, Hashem should help. They say in the name of the Chizuk from Lublin, it's Chizuk in the line that a Baal Simcha, they call him Baal Simcha. Why? Why Baal Simcha? Because he's a balabos on the mid of Simcha. He's like a balabos on the mid of Simcha. So by our Emuna and Divrei Tzadikim, we believe that what Tzadikim say is, it is. So as I believe in the words of the Chizuk that a Baal Simcha is a balabos on the mid of Simcha, so I wish all of you that you should all have simchas and nachas by all of you in your house. Whatever you need, Hashem should be memale kol mashalas libchem letoiva v'levrucha, simcha and nachas, and all the best, shefa, panos etoiva and atzlocha, nachas from the children, good health, long life, whatever you need, Hashem should fulfill whatever you need. Everything should be on the best way forward with simcha. Amen. Now we're going to start Parashat Mishpatim. The Eila Mishpatim Asher Tosim Lefneim. Now it's a little bit interesting that right after Matan Torah, the Aseres Adibris, the Chumash goes down speaking about Choshe Mishpat. Alochas of Ben Adam L'Chaveiroi, Mishpatim. Rather, people would say, we would easier understand that right after Aseres Adibris should be Parashat Terumah, Tetzaveh, building the Beis HaMikdash, Big Day Kehina, especially that in the end of Parashat Yisro, as we see right after Aseres Adibris, the Hashem tells Klal Yisrael, Mizbach Adomo Ta'aseli, B'chol Hamokim Asher Askeret Shmi Ovei Alecha Ve'erachticha, V'mizbach Avonim L'Sala B'malas Al Mizbechi. We speak so much about the Mizbeach, the Karbonos, so go ahead and start Parashat Terumah, taking from Klal Yisrael whatever they need in order to build the Beis HaMikdash. So there's a lot of terutzim. In the name of the Beis HaLevi, they say, the name of the Ksav Sofer, he also says it, that before we take a truma, we take a donation from a person for tzedukah, first we have to know that the money is kosher money. He earned it bekashris. It's his money. Who says it's his money? Maybe he owes it to someone, or maybe he damaged someone for a thing and he has to pay for that. So first the Torah says, I want to build a Beis HaMikdash. I want to build a Mizbeach, I bring Karbonos, but first I have to see Mishpatim. You should know how to go around, how to go along with your friends, and what's yours, what's not yours. Whatever you have a suffix, you go to the Dayan, he should pasken. After we have the psak of a Dayan, what's yours or what's not yours, so with your money I could ask you Truma, you should give me a Truma to build the Beis HaMikdash, to bring the Karbonos. That's the Akdom of Mishpatim before Terumah. I'm kemat sure that I saw it in the name of Rabbi Avram ben Rambam. The Rambam had the son Rabbi Avram. He wrote a sefer, a Musa sefer Hamaspik Loiv de Hashem, but he wrote a lot of Sforim. I think I saw it in Sefer Hamaspik, or maybe another sefer of Rabbi Avram ben Rambam. It says a Gewaldige Pshat. This is a pasuk. I think it's a pasuk in Tehillim, or no? Maybe it's a pasuk in another place in Tanakh. It says, V'nivchar l'Hashem mizevach, asoi mishpat itztoka. Definition is, Hashem likes and he prefers even more than a zevach if Yiddish kinder deal and they live with doing mishpat and tzedakah. V'nivchar, it's more mufchar l'Hashem mizevach, more than a zevach, asoi, you should do mishpat tzedakah. So before we go starting Terumah, Tetzaveh, dealing with all of the Karbonos, Hashem tells us 1 minute. I have something that I prefer even more than Karbonos. Mishpatim, Asoi Mishpat Tzedakah. righteous, doing everything according to the Mishpat Hashem, that's even a bigger carbon than bringing carbonates on the Mizbeach. So Mishpatim is before Truma, because when Nivchar Hashem Mizevach, is also a Mishpat Tzedakah, doing Mishpat Tzedakah. Now the Balatirim says an interesting zach. The Balatirim says, the Balatura brings down that the word Hamashpia is a gewaldige Rosh Tevis. What's the Rosh Tevis of Hamashpia? He brings a gewaldige Rosh Tevis. Ha is Hadayan. Mem Mitzuveh. Shin Shiyase. Pe is Pshoro. Tes Terem. Yud Yase. The last mem is Mishpat. Again, Hadayan Mitzuveh. Shiyase Pshoro. Terem Yase Mishpat. Hashem is being mitzvah. How do you say tzivu? Command. Hashem is commanding the dayanim. Before you start a Torah and going right or left, that's mishpat. One of them is right, one is wrong. Try your best to make a pshara. How do you say a pshara in English? In the middle. How do you say it? Compromise. Gewaldig. That's the word. Try your best to make a compromise. A pshara is a compromise. It's called, that's why we see leak water, we call mayim pashrim. It's not cold, it's leak, or how do you call it? Luke water, not leak water. We have a leak, you have to fix it. Luke water. You have cold water and hot water, and there's luke water. It's called mayim pashrim. It's not kar, it's not cham, it's posher, somewhere in the middle. That's pshat a pshara. So the dayan has a command. Before he does the mishpat, he should try and convince both of them to make a pshara. But he needs the reshus of both baladinim. If the both baladinim, even if one of them says, no, I want mishpat. I want to know if I'm right, I want the whole money. And if not, I'm willing to lose the whole money. So then the dayan can't make a pshara. Because by a pshara, he's not going into detail who is right, who is wrong. He's like saying, I want to try and make a compromise. If he has reshus, if he has the, how do you call it, the permission of both of them to go ahead and do a compromise, then he could do it. But the dayan has a tzivu, a command, he should try to make a pshara. And the truth is, it's a Gemara. The Gemara is Masechta Sanhedrin. Those who learned Afayoim, you learned it not too long ago. In the beginning of Sanhedrin, the Gemara brings down a machloikis. I don't remember the names. Maybe it's Rabbi Yashia, or Rabbi Shua ben Korcha. A long time since I learned Masechta Sanhedrin, but the Gemara brings over there two shittas. One shitta says, mitzvah bedin, and asur liftzoya. Liftzoya means to cut up in the middle, make a pshara, bitzua. Asur liftzoya, you have to go yikev adin esuvar. You hear both sides, and who is right gets the whole money, the other one doesn't get anything. That's pshat. That's mishpat doing the psak of the Torah. The other one holds no, mitzvah liftzoya. It's a mitzvah to do a pshara. And we pass like this man, the Omer, mitzvah liftzoya, and that's how it's passed in the Shulchan Aruch, the beginning of Ilches Dayanis, that a dayan should try and convince both of Baladuinim, make a pshara. Now, what's the svara of those two svaras? The one that says Osel liftzoya says, when you make a pshara, the right person is losing half. Because only one of them is right and the other one is wrong. And by giving everyone only 50%, so the righteous person is losing half. On the other hand, the shita that holds it's a mitzvah to make a pshara, as they say, if you go hikev adin asehor, you go in ganzen mishpat, sometimes maybe you could have a twist, you could have a mistake. And maybe the righteous person loses the whole amount, and the other one that's not right, he gets the whole amount. Rather make a pshara like this, you know, that the right person at least for sure got 50%. The right person. And it goes even more of that. That every person knows he's not sure if he's going to win the Torah or not. So a person says, you know what, I'm willing to sacrifice, to be, how do you call it, maybe even to be mevater. I'm willing to go ahead and say, I only want 50%, but at least I know I got 50%. That's the svara of making a pshara, and that's how it's passed in the Shulchan Aruch, and that's why the Balatira brings us a remes. We start Parashat Mishpatim. Remember that the psak is Hadayin mitzuveh sheyaseh pshara terem yaseh mishpat. Before he goes on to do a mishpat, he should try to make a pshara. I once heard in the name of the Satmarov, Zechroin Levruche, he once said, interesting, When it comes to Shulchan Aruch, we have the whole Torah divided in 4 halakim. Oira Chaim, daily basis, day, what you need to know, starting from Hilchos, Berachos, Kriyas Shema, Tefillin, Tzitzis, Tefillah, then going down through Shabbos, all the Yom Tovim. Then there's Yoyre Deye, Issa V'Heti. If it's Basa B'Cholov, Tarives, Treifes, Hilchos Tahare, Ribis, Kibbud Avohem, Talmud Torah. Then there is Even Uezer, Gittin, Kiddushin, and then there's Choshe Mishpat, Yonem Umoines, Cheskas Karkues, Cheskas Betaltelin, Halvue, and Niske Shcheinem, all of the Aluchas, Aveide Metzieh, Genai Vegzeile, Matona. So this is Choshe Mishpat. Now Choshe Mishpat is the last of the 4. Oira Chaim, Yoyre Deye, Even Uezer, and Choshe Mishpat. Why? In the Torah we see that Mishpatim is right after Matan Torah. We start with Mishpatim. So why Shulchan Aruch they put it the last? He said the gewaltige Sache. Because by Choshe Mishpat we start then the Gilchas Dayanas and we see that there's a halacha. First you should try and make a compromise, a pshara. If we would start learning Choshe Mishpat, a Yid would think, oh, this is a klal always. Try to compromise. He's going to come to Hilchos Shabbos and he's going to say, oh, this is a problem. Oh, maybe we could compromise. It's not so bad. It's not so good. We could make episode pshara. It's going to come to Hilchos Basa V'Cholov. Let's try and compromise. Oh, what's going to be there with Oira Chaim and Yoyre Deye? You can't compromise. Either it's muter or it's aser. You can't make. When it comes to money between one fellow, if it's ben Adam lekoino, you can't compromise between a person and Hashem. Ben Adam lechaveiro, you can make. That's the Ratzon Hashem. Everyone should be mevater, compromise, go and be mevater from yourself a bit, like by a pshara. Everyone is sure that he is right, and he's asking to be mevater for the other one half. But that's not when it comes to the halachas of Oira Chaim and Yoyre Deye and Even Uezer. So that's why, if we would start right away with Choshe Mishpat, we would think that this klal of pshara guides us by all halakim of the Shulchan Aruch and Oira Chaim Yoyre Deye also. And that's not true. So first, then Oira Chaim Yoyre Deye Even Uezer, no psharas. Comes to Choshe Mishpat, the last part. Now we could start saying that there's a mitzvah to do a pshara. Now I thought we could even add to this that we see that not only the Mechaber, the Torah, they made it in that Seder, in that, how do you say Seder, in that order. Even Ishti Shtikl Remez in the Tehillim. In Tehillim Kapitel Yites, the Melech speaks about the Torah, and he says 3 psikim about the Torah, and every pasuk has 2 half psukim. It starts, everybody knows those 3 psikim. It's 6 half psukim. Torah Hashem Temima Meshivas Nofesh, Eides Hashem Namona Machkimas Pesi, Pikid Hashem Yisharim Esam Chelev, Mitzvahs Hashem Bora Meras Hanoim, Yiras Hashem Torah Medes Luad, Mishpatei Hashem Emesot Ki Yachdav. So the Medrash Shoiche Toiv Tehillim says, it's not Stam that Shlomo that David HaMelech made 6 half psikim. It's against this Sheshet Sidra Mishnah. Every half a pasuk, and he goes on to being Masber. Pekida Hashem Yishorim Esam Chelev, that's Seder Moyed. Yiras Hashem Tohoira Medas La'ad, that's Seder Taharis. He explains every, and the last one is Mishpatei Hashem Emes Tzot Ki Yachdav. That's again Seder Nezikin. So we see that the Melech also brings down Mishpatei Hashem Emes, the last one. Could also be, that's the reason. Why? Mishpatei Hashem Emes Tzot Ki Yachdav. There's a lot of pshatim in this pasuk. We could say one pshat that the person could think by a compromise that's Mishpat Hashem Emes. It's for sure not the Emes, because there's no way he should get 50% and he should get 50%. One is getting over, one is losing, and one is earning, one is that doesn't belong to him. But if Hashem tells us to make a compromise, and the reason is because in this way everybody gets at least half. So Mishpatei Hashem Emes, Tzadku Yachdav, both of them go out as righteous people, everybody gets at least 50%. And that's the reason, because we compromise, why David HaMelech put it the last. It shouldn't be in the beginning, because then you can think that compromise should guide us by all of the halachas. It's only by Mishpatim. Mishpatei Hashem Emes, Tzadku Yachdav. I remind myself now, what I heard once from a Yid. I don't know his name. He was at the American consul. We met over there to make a visa. And he tells me that he goes around a lot to Ukraine. It was years ago, probably 20 years ago. And he once heard from a Yid, an elderly Yid, that was born or he lived in Vilna, or in the area of Vilna. And he had the Kabbalah from his father, from his parents, in the name of the Vilna Guen, a gewaldige nice Segula. I never tried it, and I wish all of you, you shouldn't have to try it, never. But he said the gewaldige Segula. If you have to do with a Goy, with a Gentile, and you have something, a problem, a Goy wants to do you something bad, you want to get potter of the Goy, so there's a gewaldige Segula. You take, we mentioned before those 6 half psikim. Each one of them has 5 words. Toiras Hashem Temima Meshivas Nofesh. Eidus Hashem Namono Machimas Pesi. Every one of them has 5 words. And by each one of them, the Shem Avaye, Hashem's name, is the second. Hashem is the second. Toiras Hashem. Eidus Hashem. Kiras Hashem. Mishpatim Hashem. So the Vilna Gaon said like this. You go and you take your left hand, yeah? And you take this finger. How do you call this finger? Index. This is called, Etzba is called index.
Pointer.
Pointer. Oh, pointer, index. You take the pointer of your left hand and you put it on your right hand, on the 5 fingers, and you say like this. Toiras, Hashem, Temimo, Meshivas, Nofesh. On the 5 fingers. And you say out the word of Hashem. I don't say it now. Toiras, Hashem, Temimo, Meshivas, Nofesh. And then, Eidus, Hashem, Nemono, Machimas, Pesi. Pekidei, Hashem, Yeshore, Mesam, Chelev. Those 6 psikim. But every time Hashem, on this finger. And then you go towards the Goy. How do you say Goy in English? Gentile, like I said before, Gentile. And you show it on the Goy like this. You point it on the Goy. And he can't do anything, any harm to the Yid. And he told me this Yid, that he heard it from a Yid, that he was by the Second World War. He was captured, and he was put by the wall. They wanted to shoot him, to kill him. The last minute he reminded himself of this Segillah, and as he was standing on the wall, he did it on his fingers, and then he turned around and he made like this on the German soldier, and he fled for his life, like he left everything and he started running away, that guy, that German soldier, and he was saved. That was what he said. So, it's an interesting zach. It could be, the truth is, it could be Merimas in the Indian of Etzba Elohim. When Hashem punishes the Mitzrayim, it says over there by the Makos, Etzba Elohim. Over here, it's Hashem, Shem Havaye. But it's on the pointer, on the Etzba, 6 times, and that's, I reminded myself of this as we spoke about these psikim of Tehillim. But I want to add, regarding what we said before, I once said from a Choshavit, I don't remember from whom, that we do see one alucha in Yeredaya, that we do make a compromise. That's regarding the mezuzah. We make the mezuzahs, I don't know over here in this area, in this Kehillah, but the Ashkenazim, they put the mezuzah on a slant, how do you call it? It's a slant, on a slant. But the Sfardim, they do it straight. Now there's a machloikis and ilchas mezuzah between the Rambam and the Rosh. The Rambam holds you put it straight, and the Rosh holds you put it lying. You have to put the mezuzah like this, lying down. And we make it pshore, the Ashkenazim, and we make it in a slant. That's how you do it. The Sfardim go according to the Mechaber, and they make it right straight. But we would do it, so that's interesting. Either you go as the Shittas Rambam or the Shittas Rosh, or straight or lying. Why do we make it? Why is this the only halakha that we can compromise between both Shittas? Says like this. A mezuzah is when you go into the house. Ich saftam al mezuzah is beisecha, derech bi'ascha, when you come into your house, ivishorecha. There's even Shittas that hold that is the ikkechi of mezuzah is only on the main entrance of the house. For sure, we have to make on every door a mezuzah. But I mean to say the Iker Chiyuv is derech bi'ascha. The Torah wants to teach us. Chacham wanted to learn us. You come into the house, you have to know how to deal. You can't always say it's either straight or either lying. You have to be able to bend a little bit. You have to be able. So that's why we took this halacha and we made a compromise between lying and standing to teach us how to deal at home the Anogas Abayis should be, we have to be Kol Odom Yase, Kol Orim Yase Bedas, Yechalkel Devorav B'Mishpat, should do it on the right way. Siyata D'Shmaya.
Whose name was that?
I don't remember from whom I heard it.
Very good.
Now the Pasuk, it goes on before Sheni. Mamish, the last Pasuk before Sheni, it says like this. If a person hit his friend and he didn't die, he only felt lemishkov, he fell to bed. He had to recover from the makkah that he gave him. And the Pasuk says that if he chaz v'shulim dies, then nefesh tachas nefesh, you have to kill the person that killed him. But if he didn't die, he became well afterwards, you just have to pay him for all the damage that you caused him. And the Pasuk mentions two things. Sheves and Ripu. We know there's Chamisha Devarim. When a person does any harm to another person, he has to pay first Nezek for the damage, Tsar, Ripu, Sheves, Boishes. Now this Pasuk refers over here about those two things, Sheves and Ripu. Sheves means what he lost out, that he didn't work all of these days, that he was ill, that's Sheves. And Ripu is the cost of the doctors, you have to pay it. Rak shiftoyit, and you have to give him what he sat at home, he didn't go to work, and v'rape yerape, for all of the medical expenses that he had, to pay for the doctor's bills, you have to pay him for that. So there's a gewaldige Teferet Shloime in this week's Parsha, that he brings down the remez on this Pasuk, and he says,
Who is this?
Teferet Shloime of Radomsk, the Radomsk Rebbe, the Reb Shloime from Radomsk. And he says like this, every Yid, when it comes Shabbos is a gewaldige day. Shabbos is the Mekoira Brocha. All of the Brocha and the Shefa that a person has during the week is included in the Shabbos before. You have to fill up the Shabbos day with how much possible you're able to fill it up with Torah, Tfilas, Zemiras, Shiras, Ishbachos, whatever you can do more and more Ruchnius. Reading the newspaper, that you could leave for Matzah Shabbos or for Sunday. But Shabbos you have to, quality time give away for Hashem. Do Nachas Riach for Hashem. And if you use your Shabbos in that way, Shabbos brings down on the person back, Gewaldig Ashbuas, Bergashmias and Beruchnias. So he says, Rak Shifto Yitein. Hashem tells us, give me your Shabbos. Shifto is Shabbos. You give me away your Shabbos and you're going to be able to see gewaldige refias, healing beguf and healing benefesh, refuas aguf and refuas anefesh. You just give me the Shabbos, rak shifta yitein. Give me away your Shabbos. And he goes on the Teferet Shloime and he says, the macholim of Shabbos have a tremendous power and koyach to bring refias beguf and benefesh. So Rak Shifta Yitin also refers not only to the davening of Shabbos and the Torah learning of Shabbos, the Sudas of Shabbos. You eat Shabbos. You know, the Reb Tzaddik says a gewaltige Sach in Parashat B'Shalach. He says that the Sudas Shabbos have even a bigger kedusha than the mon. The mon that came down from Shamayim, lechem abirim och alish, we ate the lechem that Malach HaShores eat. Mon is kulei rochni. Machol Shabbos have even a bigger kedusha. Reb Tzaddik says, than the mon. So when you see the Shabbos, the challah, the fish, there's so much kedusha in each of them. So the Teferet Shloime says, you eat b'chol Shabbos, v'rapa, you have refias. There were tzaddikim that they used to put away from Shabbos. If they had shirayim, fish, cholent, and they used to eat it during the week, whenever someone needed a refuah, no matter what, they said, b'chol Shabbos have a tremendous koyach, power to bring refias for whatever you need. Rak shifto yitein, you give me away your Shabbos, v'rapa, you can have gewaldige refias. As we speak about Shabbos, and this week is the last Shabbos of Shivovim, it's Mishpatim, the last Shabbos of Shivovim. We spoke already at the beginning of Shivovim that the Iker Tikkun of Shivovim are the Shabbosim of Shivovim, because it's the days of Shivovim are always when we read this parshas in the Torah. We said it's not always the same days starting and finishing Shivovim. It refers to when we read these parshas. And when do we read the parsha? On Shabbos. So the main koich of Shivovim is lying in the parshas of Shivovim. So the day when we read this parsha, so we still have one Shabbos left, just one Shabbos, and we all go free. Yeah? You remember this song. So we could use this Shabbos of Parashat Mishpatim in order it should be Rak Shifta, Yitei, Verapa, Yerape. We should all should be Zoicha. I wanted to share with you a gewaltige word. Behemshich in this Parashat, there's a Posik that speaks about a Shomer Chinam, a Shomer Sochar. If you give an item by someone, he should be a Shomer. How do you say it in English? Again, a guardian, gewaldig. A guardian. He should watch it. You give him now. It depends if he's a shoy mechinam, if he's a shoy mesochor, if he's a soich and a shoyel. So there's over here this parsha of a shoy mesochor. There's a shoy mesochor. The pasuk starts like this. No, this parsha is of a shoy mechinam. A shoy mechinam. So it says like this: Ki yitein ishal rayeyu. It's in Kapitel Chav Beis pasuk tes. A person gives to his friend chamoir, oy shoyer, oy seh. V'chol be'emol ishmoir, v'meis, it died, or nishbar, it broke, or nishba, it got captured. No one saw. Shvias Hashem tia beishanayim. They have to have a shviyah. Well, how do he has to swear? How do you call a shviyah? Swear? A shvuah. Shvias was? Yeah. A shvias Hashem should be between both of them, that he has to swear that he didn't do any pshiyah. He wasn't a Pesheya, then he doesn't have to pay, because the Shoy Mechinam that he doesn't get paid for watching, for being a guardian, so he takes it upon himself that he's going to watch in a way that he won't do any Pshia. How do you say Pshia in English?
Negligence?
Oh, and neglecting, yeah? It's like a negligence. He did what he had to do regarding watching it, and it happened something, oinus came. Or not even a oines mamish, geneva, aveda, but he made maspik, he made enough shmirah that he had to do, and it happened, then he is potter. But if he didn't put it in a good place, he left it, he neglected it, for sure he has to pay. So this is the Shvuas Hashem, that he didn't do any pshia, any negligence, as he said. So, there's a gewaltige word brought down in the Sefer Tzemach Tzadik of Vishnitz. One Shabbos, and Chassidim say there was a Vishnitzer Chassid. His name was Rabbi Yudel Eber. And he still said over for the younger Chassidim that he remembers this Shabbos by the Tzemach Tzadik of Vishnitz. And he said, when the Tzemach Tzadik said this Torah, the walls of the shul, like, how do you say? Shook. The walls of the shul shook when he said this Torah. He said like this: Ki yitein ish al rayeyu. Hashem is called Ish. Klal Yisrael are considered Re'eyu of Hashem. We say, Leman Achai Ve'Re'eyu. Hashem calls us Klal Yisrael, my brothers. Holy brothers. Leman Achai Ve'Re'eyu. Hashem calls us. Ki yitin Ish al Re'eyu. Hashem gives every Yiddish kind all of the midas. Midas means the Zion midas. Chamoir refers to Avraham Avinu, because Chamoir is Ramach. Avraham is Begematria Ramach. And by Avraham Avinu we see Vayach V'Shes Chamoiroi. So that's the midah of chesed that we have from Avraham Avinu. Oy shoir, that refers to midas hagvura, the midah of Yitzchok. Shoir is gevura. Oy seh, that refers to the midah of Yaakov. Yisrael, Klal Yisrael, seh pezura Yisrael. Klal Yisrael is considered seh echod b'shivim za'ivim. That's seh. And v'chol bohaimo lishmoir, meaning to say all of the midas that he gets. Now all of these midas, you could use it as a behemoth. If you take the chesed and you have a hava to bad things, that's called, you use the midah that Hashem gave you, your feelings, and you'll use it as a behemoth uses it. But that wasn't the purpose of why Hashem gave it to you. And what happens? Imeis, the midas get, chaz v'shulim, they die, or nishba, they get broken. Or nishba, ein roye. It's kilu, we forgot that there's an eye in roye. Hashem sees everything that he does. He forgot from it. Ein roye, no one is seeing. Now the Tzemach Tzadik went on and he said, Shavuos Hashem! What's going to be with the Shavuot that Hashem swore on every person before the Neshama comes down on this world? Mashpia noisoi tehi tzadik v'alti Rasha. Hashem not only asks from every Yiddish Neshama, I want you to be righteous and don't be a Rasha. Tehi tzadik v'alti Rasha. He's even being him Mashpia. He is like beswearing him. How do you say Mashpia? Again, Rabbi?
Swearing him.
Yeah, being Mashpia.
To be sworn in.
To be sworn in. to be sworn in. So every Yiddish neshama is being sworn in before he comes down to this world. Tehi tzadik v'al tirosha. That has to, every person in his mind, that has to remember, I have a shvuah. Tehi tzadik v'al tirosha. So he said, Shvuas Hashem, what's going to be with the Shvuas Hashem? So the Tzemach Tzadik went on and he said, Tia Bein Shenayim. What's the Rosh Tevis of Tia Bein Shenayim? Shabbos. If you take yourself to the Shabbos, that's going to wash you out from all of your avoidance and that gives you the koyach to go on from now weiter, go ahead and be mamshich on the good path, on the good way. Tia Bein Shenayim. What?
Does the Rav have any advice when there's little children at home and you want to be in the Shabbos, but you also have to be with the little children?
Yeah. 1 second. When I'm going to finish this word, Rabbi Soma, we're going to speak probably about this. Remind me.
Shlita Tevis is Hummer.
Soifa Tevis is Homer. Shneim. Now, what do you want to say? It could be either Shabbos or it could be Homer.
Middle ground. Yes or no?
Oh, that's Tia Bein Shneim. Between those two, or Shabbos or Homer. But really, we could say Tia Ben Shneim refers to Hashem and Klal Yisrael. Shabbos is Beini Yevein B'nai Yisrael Oisi Lo'ilam. It's a bris. Tia Ben Shneim between Hashem and us. Tia Ben Shneim. You take yourself to the Shabbos, and that can help you gewaldig. So Rabbi Yidl Eibe from Vishnit said when the Tzemach Tzadik said this Torah, the walls of the shul shook. Shvuas Hashem, he gave a scream. What's going to be with the Shvuas Hashem? And the answer is Tia Ben Shneim. As we said before, you try the most possible to give away your Shabbat for Hashem, and that's going to bring you verape yerape. Now, I just want to finish, but he goes on, the Tzemach Tzadik, and it says, Im l'sholach yoda b'meleches re'ehu. But there's one Tanai. He shouldn't be a balgaive. Because if a person is a balgaive, Hashem says, I can deal with such a person. Ein anu v'hu yechoil loder b'kfifa achas. When you are al balgaive, you reach out and you use Hashem's, as it says in the Geras HaRamban. If you have the midah of gaive, you are using yourself with sharvita shel melech. You're doing usage with Hashem's sharvit. How do you say sharvit in English? Again? Scepter. I know by Esther Amalka there was a sharvit. Sharvit melech, a scepter. If you use with the sharvita shel melech, that's if you have gaive. And that's very not good. So, that's when Shabbos could help. Now, as I speak about this, I heard lately a gewaltige word. The Pnei Menachem from Gur, the Gerrer Rebbe, once asked his people, Hashem is a koil yochel? So everybody said, for sure Hashem is a koil yochel. He said, I'm not so sure that Hashem is a koil yochel. And everybody was looking at him, what, Rebbe? He says, yeah. Chazal say, Anabal Gaive, Hashem says, I can't live with such a person, so he's not a kol yochel. He can't do anything because he can't live with someone that has gaive. So he's not a kol yochel. He meant to say we should understand how far and how not good it's to have gaive. Now, Rabbi Sommer asks, what do you do when you have Baruch Hashem? Hashem blessed us with children. The children make a lot of by the Suda Shabbos. So that's for sure. The Suda Shabbos is a time that a parent should spend quality time with his children. And that's the biggest, if we said before, give away Shabbos for Hashem, the biggest giving away for Hashem is giving it away for the children. That's the biggest giving away. Those are the generations that we are being mechanech. That was the tachlis of the Bria. The first mitzvah is Peru Erevu, because that's the only way of the kiyam of Klal Yisrael. If every parent is going to say, I want to work on my own avodas Hashem, and is in a chal v'shulam neglect his children, so then what's going to be the hemshech of Klal Yisrael? The most, they said in the name of the Skvere Rebbe, Zechroine Levruche. He lived in America. Before he was in Bucharest, in the Shtetl Skvere, a tremendous tzaddik, the Skvere Rebbe. He lived in America. In the first years, he arrived there right after the Second World War. And America was America in those days, and he was very afraid for his children. He didn't want them to go out a lot and to play because there was a lot of negative influence outside on the streets. So he used to give away a lot of time to play with his children. He used to give hours and hours he gave away every day when they came home from school, from Cheder. he used to draw, he was very good in knitting. And they still have, the Achmasnifke Rebbetzin, they still has some pillows. She knitted together with her father, used to play with them games. And once he said in his elderly years, hundreds and hundreds of Dafei Gemara, Blätter Gemara, I gave away for the chinuch of my children, and I don't regret it. Hundreds and thousands of Dafei Gemara, hours of learning of Skvere Rebbe, I gave away for the chinuch of my children, and I don't regret it. For sure, a person, avade, he should try when the children go to sleep, when he has time, he should do whatever he could to, but like this, he's working, he's dealing over here with his children, he has to look at his children, not only as a small child, this is generations. This child is going to remember the way you acted to him, and that's is going to be the way he's going to act to his children, and to his children. We are now giving over Torah. Moshe Kibbel Torah, Mesara LeYeshua, Yeshua LeSkeinim. We're not only giving over Torah when we teach them the halachos, when the way we show them how we deal with them, take by a Shabbos Suda. It has to be a Geschmack Suda. Now some parents, that was once upon a time, that was the Seder, that the children had to sit at the table, the whole Suda, there's no standing up. I once said of the name of the Nesivit Shalom of Slonim that he said, why? Chazal says Shabbos, le'oinig nitno ve'lo'y le'tzar. Shabbos was given for enjoyment, not for tzar. Now for children, you could ask them maybe in half an hour to sit still. But why, if you want to have a suit of 2 hours, let them go. They should sit by the table till after the fish. Now give them, they should have a little bit of time to play. If they want to sit, but don't make it hard on them, he said. For sure, there has to be some, how do you call it? Discipline. Discipline. This is what I wanted to say. There has to be some discipline. It has to be some discipline. But you can't make it too hard. You have to, as we said before, a mezuzah. You can't go in Gamta like this, and you can't let them go, but you can't go, it has to be with a pshore called Oram Yaseh Bedas. So for sure, when Hashem sees, you tell Hashem, I'm not the one running the show. You're the one. I sit by a Seder Shabbos. I'm also a child. I'm your child. I'm sitting by your Seder Shabbos. It's Seder Seder Memnuse, Emuna of Hashem. Now, help me and guide me. I should know what to do. And like this, you try not to get angry. Otherwise, it could be Hashem. Shulam alayich malacha, shulam, a slap on this face. No, what are you fighting with that guy? You could start off, that's the malacha, shulas come along. They want to see, Hashem sees our rots and our will. You could ask, and you should ask. Everything should go smooth. You should be zoiche. But we still have to remember, life is life. Children are children. Not always. The day I have all the kailim and all the koiches. So this is what we spoke about Shabbos. Yeah. Rak shifta yitei v'rapa yerape. Now there's a I see that I had a mistake. But to us, what's the mistake? The psikim that I said before, Pasuk Tez, does speak about Shomer Sochor. As the Pasuk goes on, it does speak about the Shomer Sochor. That is only potter on the oines, nishbar or nishba, but by Genaive he has to pay because he is also paid for watching. The psikim before, Pasuk Vov, that refers about a Shomer Chinam. Now over there it says in Pasuk, Im lo yemotzei aganev, it's in Pasuk Zion. Someone gave to his friend to watch, you should be the guardian, and if it was stolen and you didn't find the ganev, v'nikra balabais elu Elohim, im l'sholach yoda b'mleches re'eyu. Now you have to bring him, v'nikra balabais, you have to bring him close, elu Elohim to the dayanim, and he has to give a shvuah, swear, if he didn't make any pshia, any negligence. Negligence. Now on this pasuk there's a nice remez of Rabbi Yosef Shol Natnzon. Yosef Shol Natnzon says there's a mechilt in Parashat B'Shalach. right after Kriyas Yamsiv Yitzis Mitzrayim, it says over there, the pasuk says, "Vayoyim Shemo Yatishma L'Koil Hashem Alekecha, Vayosher Be'einav Ta'aseh, Vazamta L'Mitzvoisav, V'Shamarta Kol Chikov." And the pasuk goes on, "Kol Hamachla Shesamti B'Mitzrayim, L'Yosim Alecha, Kani Hashem Rufecha." So the Mechilta says, "Kol Anoise V'Noisen Be'emuna." If someone does business, Be'emuna, righteous, how do you say also Emuna? With faith. No, meaning to say he's right with the other person. Masa ematn be'emuna. A word is a word. Honesty. Oh. Anyone who does masa ematn honestly, masa ematn, is choshev by Hashem, ke'ili was mekayim the whole Torah. Kol anoisen v'noisen be'emuna, ma'ala olav hakosiv, ke'ilu kiyem kol ha'Torah kila. Why? Because it says, Im shemo yatishma l'koil Hashem alekecha, v'ayosher be'einav ta'aseh. What's v'ayosher be'einav ta'aseh? You're going to do what's right in his eyes, masa imatn be'emuna, honestly doing business. And that's called shemo yatishma l'koil Hashem alekecha, v'azamto l'mitzvoisav v'shamarto kol chikov. That's kilu you being mekayim. So it says Rabbi Yosef Shol Natnazon in this pasuk, v'nikra balabais elu Elohim, im l'sholach yoda b'meleches re'eyu. He says balabais refers also to how we call a person that does business. He's a balabos. So he says v'nikra balabais elu Elohim. A person that he doesn't have the schiyah to sit a whole day and learn. He works. He's a balabos. How could he get close to Hashem? V'nikra balabais elu Elohim. How does a balabos get close to Hashem? Im l'sholach yoda b'meleches re'eyu. If he doesn't take away from his friend nothing, his maseh emat is be'emuna. His business is done honestly. Maseh emat be'emuna. That's the way how every balabos could get close to Hashem. V'nikra balabais elu Elohim. How it says in Sefer Atanya says, if by learning the halachas of shoy shenogech hasepora, you could get close to Hashem, devaikis b'Hashem, by dealing with shoy shenogech hasepora, being outside and doing business, and actually doing the shoy shenogech hasepora, and doing what Hashem says, doing the masemat and emuna, that's the biggest way how to get close to Hashem. This refers also to what we spoke before about the children on Shabbos. If by learning all the gevaldig asogis, we could sit and learn that you could do so much chinuch hayalodim to give away for the chinuch of our children. Now we're doing it indeed. We're doing it in person. So I just wanted, there's not much time, so I'm going to say on another pasuk. Mamish, close to the end of the Parashat, there's a pasuk. It says like this: "Va'avadetem as Hashem alekeichem, you should serve Hashem Yisborach. Iveirach eslach b'cho v'esmemecho. He's going to bless your bread and your water. V'asiroi simach lo mikirbecho. And I'm going to take away any machlos." Yeah, what does it mean? V'asiroi si? No machlos is going to be removed. I'm going to remove all machlos. Where's this pasuk? V'asiroi simach lo mikirbecho. Don't find it. Va'avadetem as Hashem alekeichem. Iveirach eslach b'cho v'esmeimecho. V'asiroi simach lo mikirbecho. Oh, it's over here, yeah. It's important. Peirik Chov Gimel, one pasuk before Shvi. So a lot of Mefarshim ask, why does the pasuk start with a Lashon Rabim? Va'avadetem as Hashem alekeichem. And then it goes on the Lashon Yochid. Iveirach eslach b'cho v'esmeimecho v'asiroi simach lo mikirbecho.
What's the difference of the Lashon?
Alekeichem is Lashon Rabim. If it would say va'avadeto, talking to us every single Yid, you should serve as Hashem Elokecho, then you could go on. Iveirach eslach b'cho v'esmeimecho. But if you start va'avadetem as Hashem Elokeichem, so you say va'avadetem, all of you, Elokeichem, so it should say Iveirach eslach b'chem v'esmeimechem. Why does he go on with a Lashon Yochid? The Ksav Sofer asks this kasha. The more v'shemesh, the heilige apteru v'loy v'shtuel, a lot of tzaddikim, and they say a lot of teritzim. The more v'shemesh brings down the gewaldige teretz. He says, if a person is mishtadl every day to daven 3 times a day with a minyan, the ashpur of davening with a minyan is gewaltig. And the whole bracha of Parnasse comes down on the person, on each and every one that davened with a minion. Not only does he get all Ashpuas begashmias everachnias, Hashem fulfills whatever he needs, so he shouldn't have to ask for something else. Everything is included in his davening with a minion. So he says like this: Va'avadetem es Hashem alekeichem. Serving Hashem, we know. Serving Hashem refers to davening, because our tefillah is b'mokim avoide, b'mokim de karbonos. So when we serve Hashem and we daven, it has to be b'tzibur. Va'avadetem es Hashem alekeichem. You do it b'tzibur, the tzibur together, Elosh Rabim. Now, if you're going to do it that way, each and every one of you is going to have in his business, in his deeds, in his doing, he's going to see a brocha. Begashmiis, lechem emayim, and also beruchniis. Lechem emayim referred to toire, lechi lachmi, balachmi, emayim elu toire, tefillah, shivchi kamayim, libeich. Ruchniis, also the lechem of mayim, ruchniis, are going to get the gewaldige brocha. And more than that, you won't have any machlis. And more than that, he says, machlo is also lashon tefillah, vayechal Moshe. One of the lashonos of tefillah is chilu. I'm going to remove that you won't have to daven for nothing else. Vasiroisi machlo. No other tefillah you're going to have to daven to Hashem, because you're going to have everything done by your davening with tzibur. Shkoyach. That's how the Mura V'Shemesh explains this pasuk. Vasiroisi machlo mikrebecha. Now I saw that the Divri Yisrael of Mojitz, he brings down, there's a pasuk in Parashat B'chikoisai, by the Toicheche. Yeah, the Toicheche, how do you say Toicheche in English? It's the klolos, yeah? How do you call it in English? The rebuke. The rebuke. The psikim of the Toicheche, of the rebuke, it says over there in the pasuk, B'shivri lochem mate lechem, your mate lechem, your source of parnose, could sometimes get broken. And the pasuk goes on and says by the Toicheche, Va'ofi eser noshim lachmechem betanur echad. 10 women are going to try to bake their bread in one oven, because they won't have any wood even to heat up the oven. So they're going to have a little bit of wood, 10, and it won't come out good. It's going to fall apart, the whole bread. The pasuk goes on, V'shivi lachmechem b'mishkol. That's the Toicheche. But Tzadikim said that in all of the Toicheche there is hidden brachos. You have to just know how to interpret it into brachos. It's very gewaldige psukim that the brachos are so hidden, so there shouldn't be a mekatling of those brachos. Says the Divri Yisrael of Mojitz. B'shivri lechem mate lechem. If a person sees that the source of parnasa is mate lechem, became broken a little bit. What's the eitzah? Va'ofi eser noshim lachmechem betanur echad. 10 Yidden, Nishmois Yisrael are called Noshim, the Neshamas of Yiddish Kinder. 10 Neshamas of Klalis will come together in a shul. In a tanur, it's an oven. A shul is an oven because you daven together. You get heated up. So you bake over there, Eser Noshim bake over there together, Lachmechem betanur echad, and in that way, Vayeshivi Lachmechem, you bring back the shefa of the Parnasa. When you daven with a minion, that's the way how you get back the source of the Parnasa. So then it's and I want to finish with a gewaltige Wort. The Heilige Koshnitzer Magid, in his holy Sefer Avodas Yisrael, brings down that in the end of the Parsha, Mamish in the end of the Parsha, the Pasuk says what was before Matan Torah. And the Pasuk describes that Moshe Rabbeinu made the Mizbeach over there. Hashem told him, and he made the Mizbeach. And they brought on this Mizbeach oilois, zevachim, shlomim, vayikach Moshe chatzi adam. Moshe took half of the blood of the karbonos, and he put it in agonos, and half of it he was zoirik on the Mizbeach. And then he took the half that he put in the agonos, and vayizrek aluam. And this was what he how do you say zrike? he like spritzt, sprinkled it. He spritzed it, that's English, spritzed. He spritzed it on Klal Yisrael. Half he was zoidik on the Mizbayach, half he was zoidik on Klal Yisrael. Now Rashi says, Chatzi Adom, how could you split dam of a korban? It should be exactly the half. So Rashi says, Mi chilkoi, who splitted it? Malach bo v'chilkoi. A Malach came and splitted the dam in 2 halves. Asks the Koshnitzer Magid, Ma kol Rash, why did Hashem need it? Should be exact half on half. And if it's going to be 50.1% and the Mizbeach have 49.9 on Klal Yisrael, there's such a difference. It has to be, Hashem has to send the Malach because the Bas of Adam is impossible. He should split it mamish in the middle. What was the purpose of this? He says, Gewaltig. Chatzi on the Mizbeach refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Chatzi on Klal Yisrael refers to Klal Yisrael. Hashem so shows us, I am with you equally, shove b'shove. Nothing more than you. 50% exactly on the Mizbeach, 50% on Klal Yisrael. The Mazel of Chodesh Sivan of Kabbalah Satoira is To'imim. To'imim means twins. Shove b'shove. Hashem, when He gives us the Torah, He tells us, I become Yisrael v'yiraisu v'kitchabrichi chadinin. Through the Torah, Hashem and Klal Yisrael are one. Yisrael v'yiraisu the Torah v'kitchabrichi chadinin. The Torah brings us together and makes us for one. Bereishis b'shvil ha-Torah and b'shvil Yisrael. So for me, Hashem, I'm with you. So he goes on and he says, the Koshnitzer Magid, it's like one flesh, one blood. Hashem with us together. And I want to say on this, a gewaltige word of the Sefer Ahol Hashem. Ahol Hashem is a Sefer of Reb Shem Klingberg. Interesting. He was a tzaddik that lived. He was nifted by the Second World War, and his name was Shem. Who gives such a name? Noah gave a name Shem, but in our generation, usually people don't give Shem. Reb Shem Klingberg was his family name. He was the Rebbe of Zalashitz in Kruke. He was Hashem Yikem Domoy. He was nifter by the Shoye. The reason why he was called Shem, because his Zaide was the Kamarne Rebbe. And the Kamarne Rebbe said, the Rosh Hashanah before he was born, that every year Rosh Hashanah there is one tzaddik that he like puts down his foot and his malamet zchus and Klal Yisrael they should have a good blessed year. Every year, all of the tzaddikim are made a but there's someone who works hard. This year he said, Shem ben Noach did a good job upstairs. He was the one that davened for Klal Yisrael, and he was spoiled that there should be a good gebenched year. So during that year, this Einikl was born. So it came to the bris. He says, we have a chiyuv of akora satoiv to Shem ben Noach. So he gave this name for this Einikl Shem after Shem ben Noach. Now he was a gewaltige Guen. This bissel Teures that they have over here is what's left, but he had gewaltige Chedishim. He brings down over here a moidedige Sach. He says, we see in Chazal that Klal Yisrael could be called Kinuyim. A Kinu is like a nickname, yeah? They could be called with Kinuyim of Chiba, that Hashem calls of love. Klal Yisrael, there's a few psukim. One pasuk, Bonim Atam L'Hashem Elokeichem. Hashem says, I love you like my own child. Every and each one of Klal Yisrael is like a ben yuchid to Hashem. A ben yuchid, bonim atam l'Hashem elokeichem. There's another pasuk, leman achai v'reyoi. Hashem says, you're like my brothers, my friends, achai v'reyoi. There's another pasuk that Hashem calls us like we are twins with Him. To'oimim, pischili achoisi rayosi, yoinosi tamosi. Yoinosi, yeah, we know birds. They give birth for a boy and a girl together, and then they marry together. The yoinem, that's why a lot of times by a chastas they bring in 2 birds. It should be a good siman that the couple are going to live together like 2 birds, because birds, the mother gives birth to a boy and a girl, a zochra and a kaiva, yeah, 2 birds, and those 2 get married together, and that's how they bring children. That's yoinosi tamosi to oimosi. You are my twin, yoinosi tamosi. So he says there's nekidis shavo. And there's a Nekidet Tzeirei, and there's a Chirik. Shava is one above the other one. That refers to Bonim. There's a father and a child, that's a Shava. Tzeirei refers to Achai V'Reyoi. Brothers, friends are Tzeirei, one next to the other, close. And then there's a chirik. Chirik is a one. That's yichud. One in ganzen. Yonosi tamosi. So he says like this. So he goes on and he says, bonim. Oh, he says like this. You could be meramis in the word bereshis, ba'brias u'olam, all of those bechinas. He says like this. Base is bonim. Base refers to bonim. That's why the nekuda under the base is a shava, because by bonim it's shava. Reish Aleph refers to rayim and achim. Reish Aleph, achai v'reyoi. That's why the nekuda of reish berei is a tzeirei, because that's achai v'reyoi. Then it comes to the shiin of a day you have a chirik, and what's after the shiin? Yutov, yoinosi tamosi. Shiin refers to shvius. It comes to Yom Tov, Shvius, Chodesh Sivan. Mazel is to oimim, like we said before. One flesh and one blood. Shvius, yoinosi tamosi, that's a chirik, showing that there's so many madraiges of closest to Hashem. There's one madreiga of bonim. It's also a gewaltige madreige. Hashem is our Father, we are His children. Gewaltig. But you could get even closer. It could be achai v'reyoi. It could be zoiche to yenasi tamasi. All of these beginners are bereshis. How Hashem created the world because of Klal Yisrael and because of the Torah. We should all be zoiche to have gewaltige, freiliche Shabbosim and all the best. Begashmis and Rochnis, and again, Mazel Tov and Simchis and Achis by all of us. Amen.